Hello and welcome back to another collective reading. This is going to be a collective reading that is kind of a three-part message. I wasn't even going to use this deck for the three-part message, but I guess the cards that we're going to do in the three parts are the World card, the Nine of Pentacles reversed, and Six of Pentacles upright. So I'm gonna get another two oracle cards to kind of ask Spirit, Source, Universe, what's another thing that could resonate for each of these piles so they know that one of the three parts could be for you, or you can watch all three and see which one fits best. But let's explore what could resonate for the World card here. What exactly could resonate here? I'm also getting... we'll start with this deck, but there's another deck that we'll pull from as well. Actually, I'm hearing that they want me to start with this one first. What energies could the World card, that pile, that group, what other energies could resonate with them so they know this reading is for them? The Vulture or air energy. We'll go with that. Next pile. The Elephant reverse, which is also fire energy. And the last pile, the Unicorn reversed. Interesting. Okay, and then let's get this deck here. So, pile one is the World, the Vulture, and the World, the Vulture, and number three, Slow but Steady. Pile two, group two, is Nine of Pentacles reversed, the Elephant reversed, and ooh, we have Discernment. And then I guess this one popped out for the next group is what I'm hearing. The next group is Six of Pentacles, the Unicorn, and number 23, Forgiveness. So whatever resonates, we're going to do each pile in order here, and we are going to pull from the same deck that those cards came from. I love when Spirit just literally acts directly through what I'm speaking. It's always fun whenever I'm speaking and then the tarot deck reacts to that. So let's get into a bit of the oracle part. For group one, you have the World card, the Vulture, and Slow but Steady. What is interesting about this Vulture card is a Vulture is somebody that also, this energy in this card and what it means in like the book and how it's described is a weirdly resourceful kind of energy. The Vulture is a type of animal that's really going to eat like the scraps of the earth, like the last little bits. It's going to eat up all of the last little decaying bits, not only so it can live longer and have food to eat, but also it almost helps in this process of decomposition, you want like decomposing things. And it's almost like you've been really rejuvenating group one about how you're necessarily like, not necessarily Vulture energy of like nitpicking at things, but it's like how you've been nitpicking things in a resourceful way. You're like, no, wait, we could actually use this in a way that like fills you up instead of just tears you down when it comes to this sort of rebirth energy. I want to go to the book because I feel like there's a word I'm kind of forgetting. And if you know me and you know this channel, you know how much I love Kim Krans and how they word things in this book. So let's go to the Vulture. Ooh, essential for rebalance, guardian and purifier. Remember, the vulture is greatly undervalued. What you thought was a mistake or tragedy is a blessing in disguise. I think that's really the energy of what this is. It's more of seeing how, I'm gonna keep this out actually. It's seeing how resourceful your energy can be and not just expanding like what you do and who you are, but it's in a way that's like purifying yourself to be reborn again, which is also where the world card comes into play. Like, this is the beginning of the end or the end of the beginning kind of a sense, but it's like the end transitioning into that new beginning when we've really come across everything that we've gone through. This whole fool's journey in the tarot really um I want to say depicts this aspect of, hey, like, we've come to all that we can understand now. Now it's time to truly purify the things that don't serve us and move forward freshly into this new perspective. And I'm hearing it is a new perspective. It's something to do with the mind space because we have air energy here and it's slow but steady. This isn't going to happen exactly overnight, even though it may feel like you want to believe in this overnight. Like the overnight feeling you kind of feel is like, oh my God, I'm coming to this enlightenment, this awakening, this realization. But take your time with how you're processing this, because a vulture isn't going to eat all of those little decaying bits right away. It's going to pick very slowly at what it knows it can eat and what it knows it can't, because a vulture can do a lot and eat a lot of things when it comes to this energy. So let's get some oracle cards really quick before we get into the tarot, because I'm really excited how these cards came out. And I'm hearing for anyone who knows of the goddess Hecate and works with Hecate, I feel like Hecate is all over these messages here. So for some of you, all three of these readings could resonate with you. And obviously just take what resonates and leave what doesn't, okay? Let's see what we got for... Let's do like 3 oracle cards. We have the riddle. Ooh, the riddle, the mask. Is there another card? No? Okay. Sometimes they get stuck to each other. What was this trying to come out? The hunter. Okay. You have been coming to a true realization of what you're hunting, why you're hunting it, and in this card in the book it asks, like, what are you hunting, why are you hunting it, and is the tool that you hold on so tightly in your grasp truly needed for the task at hand? And you are telling yourself yes, because you are very grounded in what you need in this new beginning, what you need in this new perspective that you've been gaining. And it's not in a way that's like you putting on a mask. I think you're throwing out that energy. But I love how the riddle card came out before the mask, because it's almost like a riddle. It's almost like a catch-22, or I'm hearing like a red herring that you don't really see yet, in the sense of like, hey, you have a lot to you that is expressive in a certain area of your life where you are truly expressing yourself. And it may feel like you have to not put on a mask, but put on this, not necessarily show, but it's like, it to other people it seems like a different persona, but in this aspect you are yourself 100%. That's what the mask card talks about. And I feel like you have a tool that truly embodies this part of you, because it's not just a persona, it's a part of you that is yourself. You embody this and you've been realizing, damn, this is actually like me to the core. And this is the like riddle at hand here. The tool that you hold so tightly in your grasp is truly needed for the task at hand. And the task at hand is gaining this new perspective into rebirth. 10 of Wands wanting to just poke out there. Rebirth. Excuse me, sorry. And for those of you who've been watching my videos, I have been feeling a bit better. I was sick over the weekend and into the week, so I still have a little bit of gross mucus, so excuse me for that. 10 of Wands reverse is giving me this energy of really accepting the responsibility of reawakening yourself, the responsibility of rebirth, and the fact that yes, you truly need to not only let things go, but use a tool, use a mask, use this almost like catch 22 energy to really reintegrate yourself into something new again, because it's not new entirely to you, it's new in this perspective, how you see your dreams and your goals. You've been really shedding a lot of weight to express to yourself truly, truly what your dreams are again, because I think some of you may have forgotten how strong you stand in your dreams and how strong your dreams can actually fulfill you. And it doesn't have to be like something that like entirely works out for you. We have 10, 9, and 10. Oh my gosh. Ooh, I feel like, but when you're not being blunt with yourself, it's like you're being kind, but in a way that is actually still being very cutthroat. Like you're telling yourself what you need to hear, but you're also not sugarcoating it, but you're still also offering yourself a helping hand, if that makes sense. And in this aspect, it's this aspect of knowing you're not alone. And I feel like if anyone's words cut deep, you are using this sword almost like a reflective mirror back to people. This Queen of Swords energy is almost even reflecting how when words cut deep, they're either your words that you're purposely cutting deep into your soul to gain this new perspective and really embody it and really express yourself in this new perspective, or you're reflecting people's words back to them without even saying a word. Like, there are people out here that are gonna say ifs, ands, whats, and buts about what you want to do, about the task at hand, and oh, you don't really need that tool for the task at hand, but you honestly are aware of yourself more than you have been, and oh, you are highly aware and intuitive of like your dreams, your passion, your purpose, and I feel like if anyone's going to tell you otherwise, that's where the riddle card kind of comes into play. It's almost like, oh, haha, yeah, you thought I wasn't supposed to do this. But really, this is just another, I want to say, lesson the universe is trying to like express to you of like continuous belief in yourself and continuing to believe in yourself, because no one's got you like you got yourself. No one's got your back like you got yourself here. Knight of Wands. I understand why it can be hard to fully pursue this aspect, but I feel like what it is you probably have a lot of adversaries that don't want you to be passionate about what you're passionate about. They're like, group one can't be passionate and this can't be their purpose because their purpose is to be this mean-spirited Queen of Swords who's just super cutthroat for no reason. And you have not been cutthroat for no reason. If people screw you over and say a lot of projecting things about you, you're reflecting that back to them like tenfold is what it feels like. Whether you have protections up, wards up, you have an energy that literally is the phrase, I'm rubber, you're glue, whatever you say bounces off of me and sticks to you. I feel like that phrase exactly is how you move through life. Like, you're not going to let people stick their projections onto you, because if anything, you understand yourself more than you could ever understand yourself right now. And I feel like this is where it becomes super, super confusing to other people who are like, no, you can't be passionate about that because you're this, that, and the other. And it's like, this person has been passionate about this since the day they were born. You've had a passion, you've had a desire, you've had this will to live, and something that is that tool that you hold tightly in your grasp, needed for the task at hand. The task at hand is your desires and passions. You were born for something, and I know you know this, and it could be a spiritual thing, it could be a real world thing, because I also feel a lot of people that help people are a lot of people in healthcare. And either it's mental health care or physical health care, And what you do matters. What you do is real and it matters to the world, and not just that one or two patients that truly appreciate your help. Like, your help and your way of seeing things is seen so brightly around everyone that sees your work. And the people that want to say, oh, well, this isn't your thing, you shouldn't be doing this, it feels like family saying, like, oh, well, you could do so much better and be so much happier in this position in life. But in actuality, like, that's not the case for you. Like, you are very, very passionate. For people who are in healthcare and truly love being a nurse or a doctor, they truly, truly love that. They truly love helping people. That's what fulfills them. It keeps them waking up every day and getting out of bed, knowing that they can make someone's day better, and knowing how to make your own day better. That's the key. Some people feel like you don't know how to make your own day better, and that's just wrong. Like, the universe is literally like, nah, they're wrong. That's all I'm hearing. And I feel like you truly are expressing yourself in this way because you understand that catch 22 to that riddle card. Like, you're understanding the meaning of it all when other people are like, oh, this riddle is just like 2 plus 2 equals 4. And you're like, no, if it was that easy, then everyone would be understanding it. Everyone would understand their purpose and their passions. You are really, really shining a light in a whole new way. Queen of Wands. Mm. I don't know who is like after you, but it's almost like someone is like copying your energy because they're like, well, I know what's best for me. I know what is my passion. I know what keeps me waking up every day and getting out of bed when they still struggle to get out of bed every morning. And I feel like the only time that you're struggling to get out of bed is when you haven't had enough sleep. Like, you literally need to let your physical body rest. And that's not you not getting out of bed, that's you acknowledging, hey, I need rest in order to actually do what I'm meant to do in my life. Do, like, follow your purpose. And this is very interesting because, yeah, Four of Pentacles here, kind of showing face. You believe in a lot more than just the mundane of things. And I feel like people, like, I'm hearing family wants to, like, shove this mundane perspective down your throat, in your face, and be like, oh, you can't act that way because that's not what life's all about. And you're kind of looking at them like, uh-huh, okay, sure, whatever you say, I'm gonna keep it pushing over here because whatever you say doesn't mean it about what I want to do with my life, is what I feel like this energy is. You have gone through so much shit, to put it plainly, um, and literally picked through all of the crap to gain this new perspective, and you're not letting yourself back down from it. But it also is a process. That slow but steady energy is a process. It allows us to take time to appreciate these things. And I feel like that's where the Four of Pentacles kind of comes along, is you're really taking time to set these things in stone, not hold on to something that you feel like is just gonna happen miraculously. Like, you're setting things down in a way that's solidifying, okay, I believe this is my purpose. I believe in these things. I want these things. This is what makes me me, and this is the tool that I hold so tightly in my grasp that is needed for my purpose here. And that tool is a mentality as well here. This tool is also a mentality that shines brighter than all of these people's perspectives. And I feel like you're seeing that. And that's why these, like, court cards are reversed, because it's almost like a double entendre here of where you're like, no, 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 no. I am not these reversed energies. No, 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 no. Some people want to make you think that you're these reversed energies, but that's the thing that you've been purifying here with that Vulture card. That's the new perspective that you've been gaining, is you're nothing, absolutely nothing like these energies. Page of Wands here. It came out reversed, but, oh, I don't know what this is with group 1, but some of you have people that think that, like, you're not all that. you don't know anything, you're still starting from square one again. And if people took the time to talk to you, they would understand the actual process it takes to have the mental maturity that you have. Page of Wands, Knight of Wands, Queen of Wands, this stage of maturity that you have been slowly upgrading to. You have gained so much knowledge and you're able to be very intellectual about the world around you. Like I heard the other day, and I feel like this resonates for you, group one, um, the ability to understand, this is what someone said in a video, the ability to understand other people's perspectives and actually just understand their perspective shows how intelligent you are. And that is the key right there. Some people see you as you don't know anything, but they're not willing to ask you about why you know these things about you and why you've discovered these grander things about life, because I feel like they think that you are just in this immature area of your life when in actuality you've grown so much, and people who really know you will go beyond to say, yeah, you've come a long way and I'm so proud of you. And the people that are proud of you will definitely show it in their actions. So keep those people close. And also, if you need to reach out just as a reassurance and a reassuring way, they are more than welcome to help you, is what I'm hearing, and more than welcome and happy to just like give you this sense of not just gratification, but it's a gratification and a gratitude that they believe you deserve, because not only have you helped them in a way that you didn't even realize, you've discovered so much more about yourself that you can't hold back anymore. You can't hold back from this grandiose way of being, because this is something so pure to your soul that you can't explain it to people unless people see how happy and fulfilled you are when you're pursuing your actual passions and dreams in a form that is actually keeping you waking up every day, keeping you stable, keeping you happy and healthy. And I feel like some of you have been really stepping away from, like, I want to say old addictions, but it's not like an addiction that has to be of a substance. It could literally just be almost addicted to looking at certain things and obsessing over small things, but it's in a way that maybe those things were providing you comfort at a time, and maybe it was a sense of being bored and not understanding really what you should be letting go. But through this action, you understood that, yeah, you know, this isn't fulfilling me, this isn't serving me, this isn't bringing me the stability that I want in myself, is what you're saying. And damn, other people really want you to stay and mature. I feel like a lot of people want you to stay and mature because you were easier to control, you were easier to handle. Um, and this is very, very like, I don't know if it's toxic family, toxic workplace, but there is an idea that if they kept you where you were in the past, mentality wise, and just like physically in your environment, maybe, if they kept you there, then you wouldn't be as chaotic and maybe exposing of the truth, exposing their truth as you are, and as you are now, because you really shine light in that darkness. All this fire energy is just so pure, and it's the fire and flame of life. It's not just fiery energy of like you're snappy and stuff like that. Like, no, other people are being snappy towards you, and they want you to believe that you're just the snappy one, when it's like, no, I am the purifying fire of life. I am purifying old ways, old habits, and old things that actually will not only deteriorate like the newer perspective, this newer future for you, but you're purifying anything that isn't going to be like a strong foundation for happiness and fulfillment, because that 10 of cups is not only just a 10, it's not a 10 for no reason. The 10 really solidifies in not only this finality and completion, but it's this aspect of something is so stable and so strong, it's in its foundation, that nothing can shake it. Nothing can blow it over, nothing can tear it down. And the more that people try to tear it down, the more that they're going to be stuck in this reverse energy, and that's not your problem to deal with. And I feel like you really need to understand how grateful some people are around you that you didn't stick with those mindsets, that your way of being has provided them to see the light within themselves. And that is something some people don't even know how to express to you, because the way you move has inspired them. And it's inspired them because also it makes them feel less alone. And I was talking about this in the last reading. So if you resonate with this group, I suggest go watching that video, because we're going to move on to group 2. All right, group 2, you have the Nine of Pentacles reversed, the Elephant, and discernment. Somebody needs to have discernment on what is truly, truly for them. And not just in any way, but it's in more ways than just one. And I'm getting the sense, I'm going to clean up these cards here so we still have a full deck of cards, but we're going to leave the oracle cards out from the last group. You are truly, truly resonating with what is for you and your independence. This is something that we have to really break down the walls of. It's like clearing a lot of obstacles, but it's not just clearing obstacles in like, oh, things gotta go, what serves us and what doesn't. It's clearing the obstacles in your life because you've had discernment on what is blocking you. I think you've had discernment on what has been blocking your own independence, and this is what we're going to get into here. We are going to look at the Elephant card just really quickly, because I feel like there's a specific wording in there that I'm kind of forgetting and missing. I have a lot of oracle cards, so bear with me. Elephant, unstoppable, auspicious, and wise. The elephant is arguably the most auspicious figure in the deck. Like Ganesh, the elephant represents immense wisdom as well as good fortune. It is said that the great elephant is the destroyer of obstacles. So if this card appears when you feel stuck, rest assured the path will soon become clear. To add to the mystery, the elephant is also known to create obstacles in order to steer us in the right direction. Trust this gentle, noble creature. It illuminates the way with the light of self-knowledge. I feel like this is both. Like, you are seeing how obstacles have been set up to have you really, like, call on your discernment, call on your intuition, ask yourself what is the right thing for you, what is the right thing for your independence, because a lot of times we can feel like we have to go back to old ways in order to gain this level of independence again. But you know intuitively, like you've been hearing in your heart and your soul, that that's not the case. And I feel like when you try to go left, the universe is, or left, because this is left on the screen. When you try to go left, the universe is just going to push you to go right. And you are seeing that like, okay, I'm sorry, I've been ignoring my discernment. I'm sorry that I haven't been seeing the obstacles. Please put any obstacles in my way to allow me to see and discern what is truly leading me towards my independence. This is where discernment and these obstacles almost have this level of like gratitude towards them, and I feel like you're trying to be really, really grateful, group 2, about your level of discernment on things. Maybe you haven't been trusting your discernment on a lot of things, and maybe you feel like you've been needing to constantly analyze your independence and what makes you independent, and in all actuality, doing that is almost nitpicking at the things that you already know and love, the things that you already know that make you you. I want to get some oracle cards here. Like the last one, we'll do 3. I feel like not only is this regarding love, but I always see this as like the Lover's card in tarot, where the Lover's card talks about choice. But maybe this has been a choice to love yourself. Gnosis. Okay. There's something on that page that I absolutely love reading, so And I love how this card can come out in different directions. So I want you to notice where this bird is. I feel like the fact that you feel like you've been on this downward, like, I'm hearing a downward spiral, a downward sort of like moment. You are having so many, I want to say, signs and synchronicities that these are obstacles that are meant for you to push you in the right direction. And it's hard, but you feel it so strongly. You feel it how, like, honest the universe is being towards you. Gnosis, innermost knowing, mystic truths. Oh, I love this. Okay, so I'm going to read the little side description here. Those who say they know, don't. Those who say they don't know, know. This is also trusting in that aspect of not knowing. So, those who are drawn to the Gnosis find themselves in esoteric studies, likely involving mysticism, alchemy, healing, or perhaps science. Knowing is their calling, not knowing is their job description. No matter how far the alchemists take their studies, they come to the ultimate conclusion that facts slip towards mystery, and soon the mystery results in facts. You are being asked to have so much faith and trust in this because it's been pushing you in the right direction all along. And I think you've known that, but you've really needed to let go of what that whole aspect of what is for you and what is not, and just take it in as what it is, what you are feeling. And also, I feel like some of you not only need to have discernment on what makes you independent, but don't be so analytical about it. Just ask yourself what makes you you, what keeps you ticking, what is your passion, what is your favorite music, your favorite color, like these small little things that just make you you, and how you act and how you move. It may not be like everyone else because everyone is unique. No one is like anyone else, yet we are all one. But isn't that the beauty in the fact that we are all one, but still all very unique and different and have our own way of being, speaking, and feeling? That's the aspect that the universe really wants you to look at, okay? And it's asking you to have this huge level of discernment because you have been needing to trust yourself. But you wouldn't have known how to trust yourself if you really didn't, like, see yourself fall to the wayside of what is for you. And it's like this energy of almost ignoring the obstacles in a matter of like asking the universe to be like, okay, if you're really, really trying to push me in the direction, put this obstacle in front of me, is really like why you've been ignoring some of the obstacles. Because I feel like you're also asking the universe, like, is this right? Is this for me? Is this true? And almost in that aspect, you've been diving deeper into yourself. You've been discovering more about who you are. And it's almost even like having discernment on the fact that you can create these experiences that you so, like, feel like you necessarily desire. And it's this such a huge level of discernment that I can't even explain it. Like, you are understanding more than you've ever known, but also needing to act upon trust and faith in this level of discernment here. It's something so true to the nature of your soul that you can't explain it otherwise. The Orphan. With the Lover, Gnosis, and the Orphan, you understand how being alone not only has been very, very hard, and being alone in your own mind and in your own heart, while that is so, so emotionally hard and psychologically hard to really get right with yourself on, you understand how necessary it was for your healing and for your growth. You couldn't do it with anyone's help, any other person's help here. You had to do it on your own, and you knew that from the beginning. You knew that from the get-go. And while accepting that has been hard, this is the trust, this is the faith, this is the true trust that you're being asked to have in yourself here. So let's get some cards out. Oh, I saw that was the Ace of Wands. Oh my. I can't reach it. Oh, that fell so far from me, but maybe that's kind of what you're feeling inside your heart. Maybe this new beginning and this passionate new like faith that you're going to have in yourself has been hard to find, but when you find it, you find it. Don't doubt on any of the experiences you've had. You've been transitioning from one state of being to another. You've been transitioning from one state and belief and mentality to another. But it's a belief in your own independent way of discerning. It's not just independence as well. It's your independent way of discerning things in your life. No one can tell you where the right way to move is. This boat is just only fits one, in that boat only fits one for a specific reason. You understand this journey has had to happen on your own, and it's an inner journey. It's an inner journey of that inner knowing, those mystic truths. We have Temperance in the Tower. Temperance reversed in the Tower card. You're seeing a perspective like no other, but please give yourself so much forgiveness. Temperance card's out here just asking you to give yourself forgiveness here. You need to balance out your emotions because this isn't something that you are technically doing alone. Even though it is actively and physically and mentally, emotionally alone, you have to realize that you have people all over the world that are going through these exact journeys, maybe not at the same time or at the same age, but they're still going through these things. And I'm going to tell you right now that I've had to have this level of innermost trust and discernment of my independence, because I've had so many people in my life try to tell me who I am, what I like, and what I should do with my life. And none of that resonated. And I trusted myself wholeheartedly. It took a lot of emotional healing because it hurts when people you want to believe in you don't believe in your actual true passionate like way of being, your actual independent self. There are people that will show you that they love you in your independent self, but when you see the people that don't really fully love you in that, it takes a lot of time to heal and to find balance when we are trying to find this solid ground here. And during this journey, I feel like singing, it's almost like in that boat, it's like I see the person like humming songs, singing sea shanties in a way. If you have songs that you like kind of sing along to and you kind of can't explain why you just want to sing along to it, this is a form of healing, is what I'm hearing. This healing is almost providing like these vibrations that send shock waves through your inner earth, your inner like grounding nature, because you're not on the ground in this Six of Swords card. You're in the water, and anything that is going to be shaken and stirred up is things that weren't strong to hold up your level of independence, your level of independent self, and your level of discernment is what I'm hearing. Queen of Wands upright. That was reversed in group 1, but for you, group 2, it is upright, and this has an entirely different meaning right now. I am feeling that when you feel these things shake away, you're almost glad that the tower has fallen. You're like, if that wasn't sturdy enough, then holy crap, if I was standing at the top of that, I wouldn't be speaking today kind of mentality. But this is all in your inner self here. You would have felt the fall and the crash and hitting the ground a lot harder than you would have if you were standing right next to that tower, standing in that belief, standing in that sort of structured way of being. But you're not there. You're on the ocean and you're watching that tower fall, and you're being so thankful that, holy crap, I could have hit the ground a lot harder in a metaphorical way. And through that, I think you're seeing your power again. You're seeing the level of independence you gain from your own personal power. The fact that we have the Ace of Wands and then the Queen of Wands. I don't know if y'all have noticed, but these two faces in these cards look pretty familiar. And you were this Queen of Wands all along. You were someone who had the ability to shift and to change not only your own beliefs, but also people's beliefs in a way that gave them balance, gave them discernment, and gave them the power to shake the ground out of any almost like lies, deceit, faulty structure, false belief, false promises. You've been that light in the dark for other people, and now it's time to be that light in the darkness for yourself. You have been regaining this exact card. You've been regaining your strength again. You've been regaining this passionate level of strength that actually is going to keep you up and get you up in the morning and be this fulfilling sense of nature here. Ooh! And it's all thanks to the work that you've done in the past. Because you have worked up to this point to where it's not just you have worked on 2 pentacles, 3 pentacles. You have worked on 8 pentacles in this card. That is a lot. That is very close to 10 pentacles, which is the true solidified, like, I want to say structure and balance of your own inner soul and belief in the things that you not only you believe in these things because you've experienced certain things, and that's what makes you who you are. You have worked on these things because you also feel so passionate about them, and the fact that this is where your power lies, this is where your strength lies, and you're so glad you walked away from certain things before it got really bad. Because that 6 of Swords would not show up before this Tower card if you didn't actually walk away from some things. Someone saved themselves from a lot of hurt, but also forgive yourself. Forgive yourself for just feeling like, oh my God, that gives me anxiety that I could have gotten hurt. You must take care of that part of yourself. The Temperance card would not be here for no reason, because a lot of times when we save ourselves from like just years of heartache and years of hurt, it becomes scary in the aspect of what if we stayed? What if we continued believing in that path, or believing in that like faulty and fraudulent sort of belief system? And I'm going to say right now, there's a lot of spirituality that is false, that is fraudulent, and is cult-like. And when you get yourself out of those cult-like situations, whether it's spirituality or with like friends and family, this idea that you could have had so much more hurt upon you is something that can drive you crazy. But when you are thinking about these things, be so grateful that you actually trusted in your own power here. Be so grateful you trusted in your own creative power, because something about your power is very creative. And you have a level of creativity that isn't just, oh, well, I was born with talent. No, you worked on this. Like, not everyone is built with and born with the skill to draw, but you actually worked on this like aspect of drawing and artistic nature per se, in a metaphorical way. And I feel like you really need to understand that all of this work that you've been doing is something that your like whole entire being is being so grateful for. But this is where the discernment has been lying. The discernment with the Elephant card and that 9 of Pentacles reversed is like, do not forget how you gained this level of independence. Never forget what you've done for yourself, because you have been really saving yourself from a lot of heartache, a lot of heartbreak, and you've been regaining your power and your strength like never before. And I feel like there has been a lot of things that have wanted to call you back, but that's where anytime you're singing to something, it's allowing you to not turn around and turn this boat around. Because I feel like you have people calling you out to this boat, like over here, like calling to like the back of your head, like your back is turned towards them or to these energies, and they're like calling out to you, like waiting for you to respond, and you're like, no, I'm on my own journey. I need to move this way. I already said goodbye. I said my piece. I said what I needed to say. And now I'm moving forward and I'm moving on. And now what you hear is probably the screams and the cries from the tower falling down, from the structure falling down, from people falling away and falling wayside to what they thought they should believe in. Because a lot of people are now realizing that doesn't serve them. and they actually should have believed you the whole time. I don't know what that really means, but I feel like a lot of people should have believed you the whole time, and you had to go on this alone. That's where that orphan card kind of comes in, that lover card as well. You had to trust in your own path, trust in your own belief, trust in your own innermost knowing, and understand that this one thing doesn't serve you, but if you go into the unknown, into the mystery of it all, you will understand and learn the facts of it all eventually, because that's where that whole book talks about the mystery, the facts leading towards mystery, and then the mystery leading towards facts. And that's the key to all of this, and to be grateful that you've worked on yourself for this long. And I feel like some of you need to have like a big cry of self-forgiveness, because that is a form of self-love, and it's forgiving yourself from, like, I feel like some of you have been really, really, like, hard on yourself in the past, and you gotta give yourself forgiveness because you didn't know any better. You didn't have that discernment that you had now, and that you have now. Sorry for misspeaking, because it's, you have this discernment now, and you really need to be trusting in the fact that if those obstacles in the past, maybe that's why the elephant is in reverse, because those are obstacles of the past, if they were not in your way, you would not understand, excuse me, burp of confirmation, you would not understand your power and how strong you could be right now, to this day. And that's something to be insanely grateful for. And I feel like Spirit really truly wants you to be grateful for it. And I want to thank you for listening to this reading, because I am so grateful the fact that I can give a reading like this to some people, because sometimes it takes a lot of discernment and trust in the self, and a lot of self-love to move in a way that we truly know is for us, even though if we're not really sure how it's going to end, what is going to be upon this horizon of transition, we know that we can't stay in this area that we're in. We can't stay in this way of being, this way of belief. It's not going to keep us alive, and not just alive in a physical sense, but alive in living your life and feeling alive in your life. And I feel like the more that you step into mystery, the more that you feel alive, the more that you feel your own power and trust that is all meant for you. You've done the work too, so be grateful and give yourself a pat on the back for all of that work that you did. Because that Eight of Pentacles, Eight of Cups, Eight of Pentacles wouldn't show out for no reason. And I probably said Eight of Cups because you have been moving on from things. That Eight of Cups card really talks about moving away from things that really don't check all of our boxes. And while you know you don't need to check every single box, you have standards. You have morals, you have standards. And if those things aren't going to check those boxes, you're not staying. It's not going to be something that surrounds you with love and I want to say gratitude, and personal power, because that's the part that keeps you alive and feeling alive every day. It's the aspect of you being so grateful that you walked away from things to gain your own sense of self, I want to say self-righteousness and self-love and personal power, and a lot of strength in yourself, because a lot of your strength comes from this resiliency. That's a word. Resilientness, or whatever word fits there. So the Wheel of Fortune. You understand it can be chaotic and things can be mysterious, but the more that you try to hold on to old ways of the old way of being, the more this wheel is just going to spin even faster and try to fling you off in its chaotic sense. Time is always going to move in a way that is very, very chaotic and feel like, oh, this isn't meant for us. But when you trust yourself and have that level of discernment that you know that certain obstacles were meant to be there, you can have a lot of faith in what you do in the future and the work that you're currently working on. Whether it's physical, emotional, or spiritual, you are having more faith every single waking moment of the day. And I want to thank you for letting me read your cards, because we're going to move on to group 3 here. So, Group 3, you have a Six of Pentacles, the Unicorn, and forgiveness. Number 23, forgiveness. I feel like the unicorn's in reverse because it's like something you're already doing. I'm not really sure what that means for you, but you're genuinely already doing something that is like an act of forgiveness upon yourself. And ooh, I feel like you genuinely feel like you understand where to give your energy and where to take energy from, in the sense of like, whatever you take, you're going to give. Whatever you give, you know you're going to get back. Oh, but that unicorn card is very, very intricate here. So give me a second to shuffle here. I'll shuffle those again in a second. Because I feel like the book just... There's something I'm forgetting too. Because all of the circle cards, not the circle cards, this circle, these are spirit cards in the animal spirit deck here. And they represent different chakras, so that could resonate to you as well. I forget, the unicorn represents the third eye chakra, and I think I'm just going to read this whole little thing just so we can kind of, not pick and choose, but I feel like pick and choose based on what's resonating for your reading here. The unicorn, reconnecting to higher wisdom or divinity. It's difficult to see, hear, or think of a unicorn without immediately questioning if it's real. Did they ever exist? Perhaps long, long ago. The mind answers maybe, or it could be, or no way. This very contemplation explains our relationship with divinity. It encapsulates our wavering belief in the unicorn. We wonder what divinity is. We wonder where our intuition comes from, and if we can really trust it. We think about a higher power, and our mind hesitates between yes, no, and maybe. Is it male? Is it female? Does it have a name? Is it just a feeling? The unicorn card appears and wakes us up to our curiosity about the higher self and the divine. It is a card of questioning, exploring, and contemplating the inexplicable. Yeah, the inexplicable. I almost thought I read that wrong. The mind's eye knows there is something beyond our day-to-day lives, a deeper dimension to our existence. The mind's eye reaches and reaches and reaches out to grasp something more. You are the unicorn, and you have begun your quest for answers. Ooh, you've begun your quest for answers. I feel like you began that quest for answers a long, long time ago, and I feel like I want to light some more incense. I didn't realize it was gonna burn out that fast. That's usually what happens when I burn 2 incense sticks at once, so. You are truly understanding of not only your own divine power, but how the divine has guided you. I'm speaking to someone so highly intuitive that you understand what you put out into the universe is what you get. And I feel like if you are feeling like, oh my God, I can't believe I didn't trust my intuition there, I can't believe I didn't trust this, you have to forgive yourself. There's a level of forgiveness that is so deeply resonating to you. And I think you can't explain why you feel deeply resonating with this level of divinity, but it's like, why didn't I trust it? Why can't I trust it? Why do I feel like it's almost like it's not like you can't trust what you can't see, but I feel like you need to be like smacked in the face with divinity and divine information, and your spirit guides need to like really hit you on the head with a pan of synchronicities type of a deal. Like, you really need to be like, boom, this is what it is. This is the message. This is the energy. And I feel like almost getting caught up in the fact that you didn't see the signs, you didn't understand, you are being forgiven by your spirit guides, your spirit team, and divinity itself. but you're not forgiving yourself. The fact that you have a level of forgiveness that is on a divine scale and you're still not being able to forgive yourself, you understand that what you get is what you give. So if you constantly give yourself a hard time about this forgiveness, then I feel like you're not going to feel that true level of forgiveness, but you've been getting signs of it for so long. We have the tear and the village. Very powerful energy. Maybe a lot of this level of forgiveness and beating yourself up is the fact that we truly need to move away and not necessarily move on from things because they don't serve us, but it's almost like someone going off to college or graduating from college. You are leaving that quote unquote village behind. You're leaving something behind that you have outgrown. And this is the thing about forgiveness, is sometimes we are growing past that, oh well, I should have done this, I should have done that. You're growing out of that, you're growing past that, but you're not allowing yourself to feel it. It is the weird thing here. Like, you're feeling it, but you're like, oh no, I gotta keep my head on straight. I gotta make sure I'm okay. I gotta make sure that I'm all there. But you understand the divine has been calling you to something else. You understand the divine has been calling you to really ask this forgiveness of yourself, because you can't see it unless you tell yourself it. We have the healer, and an extra card came out here for you. The Pilgrim. Okay, I want to go to the book really, really quickly here. You're being asked to heal yourself on a level that is moving beyond things that you have outgrown. And I think this is a level of forgiveness that is so deep within your soul that it almost hurts to even think about, because you don't want to think about the fact that you were being so rude to yourself. But not just rude to yourself, rude of this way of being, and not in like a rude way, but like you haven't been forgiving of yourself. And I think that's the big ask of the universe, is like, you are truly being asked to forgive yourself. The first word of the Pilgrim card, because I talked about the village and being in this stage of outgrowing something and needing to move on, because this one village does not hold you up in a way that is going to continue to push you forward in the way that you want to push forward. The first line says, for the pilgrim, an outward journey is always an inward journey. This archetypal wanderer seeks wisdom, experience, and meaning in the farthest reaches of the globe, in the deepest regions of spirit. Others will wonder when the pilgrim will settle down and claim a more conventional life, but the pilgrim knows that the heart belongs in motion. Where there is motion, there is freedom, expansion, and growth. Responsibilities, social conventions, and logistics lull us to sleep, and soon the pilgrim becomes veiled in the slumber of the day-to-day. Yet when this archetype awakens, it rallies our sense of adventure and leads us out the door towards a new reality. With the pilgrim at your side, you will never lack courage, nor do you need every amenity. Travel light, travel soon, your spirit needs it. Even in the stillness of meditation, the pilgrim feels the movement of the heart towards what it loves. I'm glad I read that. I was feeling called to read that part, because I was getting this huge sense that even when you're still moving. That inward journey that you're moving on. You need to keep moving along it. You need to keep moving along this aspect of what you give is what you get is what you give. That aspect is very much enlightening your soul and enlightening yourself, and you need to see how much this level of forgiveness is going to heal your soul. You wouldn't be the healer, the pilgrim, the village, and this tear card all in one if the universe wasn't asking you to heal something that it knows that you can heal. Your spirit team, your spirit guides, whoever you speak to, whoever you're feeling like is this divine being, you understand that they've been asking you to heal this part of you, and I'm just here to give you the confirmation for it, alright? And I understand it can be a lot of emotions that come up, but these emotions are supposed to be a form of release. The tear card represents that. The tear, while it represents that physical tear, it also represents this expressive of emotion that is an act of releasing and letting things go. A lot of the times, there's actually science behind the fact that we need to cry. It is healthy to cry because we are actually releasing these tense emotions. And I feel like some of you need to release like tense muscles. I don't know what that means for you, but like there's this aspect of releasing these tense muscles that really truly express parts of you that you didn't know how to express. Six of Wands. You really, really, truly... Oh, that's not Six of Wands. That is Seven of Wands. Recognition is also a key word here, but it's also recognition in what you know works for you. You're not probably going to cry like everyone else. You're probably not going to release these emotions like everyone else. Like sometimes releasing emotions can release a lot of muscles within us because our muscles and our body hold on to these energies. Ace of Cups reversed and King of Wands. I feel like you almost have this energy of like, oh, well, my spirit is too fiery to get emotional. I'm not someone that gets emotional. And if you're feeling like you are somebody that doesn't get emotional too often, you need to cry. You need to let yourself just fall apart and feel every bit of what your heart is feeling, because your heart is trying to pour something out so it can fill you back up. When you have emptied the cup, you are allowed to fill this cup back up with anything that fuels your soul, because you understand what you give is what you get, okay? If you release, then you will give yourself the space to give yourself even more good energy. And in that, you will find that you will get so much healing out of it. It's not going to look like everyone else's healing. However, you need to release these emotions, scream, cry, or just like not even like beg the universe, but feel like you have to like talk with the universe, and even maybe like I'm hearing like sing along to a song that just like you want to scream sing to because the lyrics are hitting you that hard. That is a level of release. That is a level of release. And I'm also going to say it's an unconventional way of like metal music, and heavy metal music has a lot of like healthy releasing energy towards. And it's also there's something about, I forget the word for it, but when you have those heavy drums and that heavy bass line and those really like heavy hitting like sounds, that actually has a lot of science to being very, very healing towards the mind, body, and soul. You're able to release things in a healthy manner. And I feel like if you need to scream shout a song, you got to go do it. You need to scream shout that song because you're not feeling like yourself. The King of Wands and the Emperor card are literally like go hand in hand, like they're the exact same kind of. While the King of Wands talks about, I feel like you've been on a very, very huge level of maturity here, that you've been very grateful to understand about yourself, but you also feel like, oh, I don't really feel like myself still. I still feel off. What do you need to release? What do you need to let go? Because the Emperor card really talks about how we're going to pursue things in the long term. Is this going to last? Is holding on to these feelings going to keep you a strong Emperor energy? Keep you that strong, powerful being that you know where to lay your foundation in the strongest way possible? Where to build this throne of power? Hangman reversed. I feel like you've been feeling like a lot of your perspectives have been upside down, but it's also to get you to realize that, hey, you have been really trying to gain a new perspective for a really long time, and you've gained it, but it takes a lot to get yourself off of this hangman tree again, to get yourself, you know, not hanging upside down and seeing things from a different perspective anymore. Like you've gained the perspective and now it's time to really come down off of this like process of gaining a new perspective because you've already gained it type of a thing. If you feel like you've been in this hangman process for a little too long, don't beat yourself up over it. It's that act of forgiveness of like, okay, I forgive myself. Now we need to really like let go. We need to release. We need to actually experience the upright position of the hangman, experience this new perspective for what it truly, truly is. And a lot of it is releasing. But like I said with the Seven of Wands, your plan isn't going to look like anyone else's. But if you sit here and do nothing, you understand that what you get is what you give. But if you have a solid plan that actually makes room and builds a bridge to these emotions in a healthy manner, you're going to do this as a process for the long run. This isn't just something that you do now. We are always going to experience highs and lows in our life and obstacles in our life. And when we truly let go of the fact that, okay, this isn't just a short-term solution, this is something that you're going to actually go back to in the future and really hold strongly to, you really feel that sense of gratitude and that level of forgiveness of like, okay, like I had to come down off of that hangman tree. I had to gain this new perspective and feel like this lack of emotion within you because you released it all. You're releasing it all and need to release it all. When you release it all, you are grateful for the fact that now you have space to build upon that. That's the key to all of this here, is the fact that you are creating space for yourself to build upon these things. Queen of Swords reversed, which we had for group 1. So, Page of Coins underneath. You've been on a very, very long journey to gain all of this understanding about yourself and understanding of your character, which is usually sometimes what the Page of Pentacles, oh, Page of Cups, my bad. Page of Pentacles really kind of still resonates here. Page of Cups is also understanding truly what your emotions desire, what your emotions are telling you that fulfill you. If you didn't understand what you needed to release, you wouldn't understand what you want to fulfill and fill you back up and fulfill you in general. But you have to be very, very cutthroat with your energy, and not just cutthroat in a bad way. It's like very clear to yourself. You have to be very explicit in saying, hey, we have to release this emotion. When you release things, you make room for good stuff. When you release the bad, you make room for the good. And this is something that is tied to that Six of Pentacles. What you get is what you give. When you release, you have room to give yourself stuff. When you let the universe take all of the insecurity, the fear, the doubt, the pain, and let it go into the ether, you have room to gain something back again. Because I feel like some of you have understood the energy of give, but you haven't been letting the universe take the pain from you, take this aspect of letting these things go. You haven't felt that ever before in your life, and I feel like you need to forgive yourself from not doing that before, because it's not out of a way that is going to hurt you. It's out of this aspect that's going to help rejuvenate you, help refill your soul back up to that true fulfillment that you find in the true joy that you have in your life. But this wouldn't happen without this whole process of healing. So being grateful for this process and the fact that Spirit's been pushing you towards this process, do not be mean to yourself that you hadn't followed this process sooner. Because I know how easy our human minds can trip us up over that. Okay, that's just a lot of basic psychologies. A lot of people always feel like, oh, I shoulda, woulda, coulda. But you're being asked to let all that go and just forgive yourself and say, I forgive myself for not believing that I could heal myself, for not believing that I could let these things go, because you know you can. You don't know when it's going to happen or how long this process is going to take or what it's going to look like, but having faith that your method to your madness of healing works, it fucking works. I'm hearing like heavy metal music really helps. If you're someone that listens to a lot of heavy metal music or a lot of unconventional things, you are seeking a lot of help through those things and forgiving yourself that, yeah, no, I forgive myself that my method of healing isn't going to look like everyone else's. I forgive myself for not allowing the universe to take this pain and to like give me room to let these things go. And I feel like this just, I forgive myself. I forgive myself. I forgive myself. I forgive myself. You are being pushed on a huge level of gratitude from the universe, because once you truly experience these aspects of forgiving yourself, you push past this mentality of like, oh no, everything's fine, we're just this fiery energy and we don't need to release anything. When that's a very stoic like nature, and you need to release that little bit of stoicism, because the true stoic nature to yourself is acknowledging that you need to forgive yourself. And I almost see the scene from How to Train Your Dragon. I think it's the second movie where there's a character literally named Stoic, and spoiler alert, the mom gets taken by some dragons. We don't know what happens to her in the first movie. We just know that she's not there. But in the second movie, she is there. Um, and when Stoic looks at her for the first time in years, he lets go all of his stoicism and just sees her and says the words, "You're as beautiful as the day I lost you." And the fact that he was able to feel vulnerable in that moment, to appreciate and be grateful for the fact that he can see his love, the love of his life, once more. I don't know what happens afterwards because I haven't seen the second movie, so don't judge me. But also, I've seen that clip loads and loads of times, and it's this aspect of we need to release some stoic natures about ourselves, a little bit of pride, releasing that pride in order to gain a new level of pride, and forgiving ourselves for being so prideful, because I get it. We don't want to feel all these emotions sometimes. Sometimes we just want to gain a new perspective and move on and not worry about what we need to heal. But a lot of the times when we gain new perspectives, we understand there's a lot more to our healing that is reflecting back on us and feeling like it's cutting deep, feeling like it's being a little bit ruthless. But being able to drop all of that stoicism, and the wife in that movie is like, be stoic, say something stoic, why don't stoic, be stoic, is what she's saying to her husband, and he's just saying nothing. He dropped all of the barriers of stoicism and pride, and just was so grateful to see the love of his life again. And I feel like this is what the universe is almost asking you to do to yourself. You need to really appreciate the fact that it's like, you're as beautiful as the day that you found me or lost me or whatever it is. You are as beautiful as like those days in the past where you felt like you could release these things and let these things go and give yourself this forgiveness. But it's almost like you're as beautiful as the day that you found yourself, and to not let go of that beauty and to not let pride take over that beauty, because I feel like a lot of the energies I'm talking to sound like a lot of Scorpios. Sounds like a lot of Scorpios, Aquariuses, Pisces a little bit. Those signs are very stoic. Those signs like to pretend that they don't feel anything, or that they don't really know what they're feeling, when deep down they know. Especially Aquarius and Pisces a bit. They know what they're feeling, but you don't need to have anyone experience this level of healing around you. You don't need to do this in front of everyone. You need to do this in front of yourself and let yourself speak for yourself. Because part of you is asking, why aren't we just being stoic? Why aren't we just being like prideful in our work? And it's because you needed to heal something. You can't be prideful when you have a wall of fear and doubt in front of that pride. And truly be prideful in the act of self-forgiveness, because that is the most stoic and prideful thing that you could probably do. And that is in a sort of double-edged sword way of, while your pride can lead you to a lot of things that feel like not necessarily don't serve you, but feel like you're not really fully letting things go, that pride could be the key to unlock the vulnerability that you need to forgive yourself for having. We all need a moment to be vulnerable, and we all need a moment to experience this vulnerability in ourselves, and you need to allow that for yourself here. And I'm seeing that it is very, very grateful. The universe is very grateful the fact that you're trying your best to work on releasing these energies, releasing the stoicism, and actually using this Queen of Swords, this cutthroat energy to be like, you know what? Let's stop being too damn prideful, and you cut yourself down from this hangman tree because you've learned everything you needed to learn from that hangman energy. You've understood all the perspectives that you could gain. Now, the perspective that you really need to follow through with is that act of self-forgiveness, because I am just here to confirm a lot that you've already been feeling and seeing. And I feel like if movies and like a lot of media, like TV, movie kind of media, has been resonating with you, like certain people's stories in certain shows, movies, and even video games as well, or even like animes as well, because I'm working with the manga tarot here. Um, you need to express to yourself that that is very resonating to your story, and also see how these characters probably push past their stoicism, and the fact that the stoicism was probably the key to unlock this vulnerability. I don't know exactly what that means, but it's almost being stoic about your own healing, like saying, I need to heal, I need to release, and I'm going to be prideful and have pride in myself for releasing this energy. It's such a double entendre kind of energy here, and that double-edged sword is almost working in your benefit, except or working towards your benefit instead of working towards your detriment. So allow yourself to express everything that you're feeling in a very healthy manner, because if you need to do it alone, that's totally okay. If you need to call on somebody and say, you know what, I'm finally ready to talk about this, go and do that. You need it for you and your whole entire soul's way of being, because that's truly what brings this King of Wands into this matured state. It truly allows the King of Wands to see, yes, we need to not be so prideful to actually get what we want done in life, to really feel this level of healing in more ways than just one. And I feel like the divine has been pushing you in more ways than just one, and that's why this came up across your feed. So thank you for letting me read your cards. I offer, oh, excuse me, burp of confirmation again. Excuse me again. But if you want a personal private reading, I have a bunch of stuff available on my website to where we can talk virtually one-on-one, or if you would like to email me and we could just do a recording kind of reading where I just record it right here, whatever works for you. And if anyone is wanting to learn how to read tarot, I'm also offering beginner tarot lessons. Um, but if you really just want a reading, and a cheap one, the cheapest readings I offer are $10 for 15 minutes on a one-on-one reading, and that's how long I am pulling cards for you. So the reading in itself and the whole session is not going to last 15 minutes. It's going to last a little longer. But when I'm pulling cards, I'm pulling cards for 15 minutes. So we can get a lot that comes out, or maybe a little, whatever happens. Just always, please, take what resonates and leave what doesn't. And thank you for watching this video, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.